Yo, 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 yo. What is good, everyone? I'm your host, Rolly. Here we are, and it's not Tony.
No, it is not.
It's definitely somebody else. It's our producer who's always behind the camera. See that Rolly's Retro Room podcast? He's always behind that. But this week, he's in front of the camera with a lovely setup, I see. Because Tony couldn't be on the podcast today. Apparently, the only sickness that could keep you from a podcast is one that has to do with talking, and he is incapable of talking right now. So instead of not doing an episode, we figured let's have our producer get in front of the camera. And basically, I mean, everything I'm going to talk about, he's been there. Like he's literally been on the other on the side of me while I was experiencing most of the things that we talk about here. So thanks for being in front of the camera today.
Oh, you're welcome, and it's good to being out here and talk about all the good things that we talked about and we saw as kids, and it's great to participate. So thank you for having me.
Oh, I see that you are you're in the retro fashion there with your classically trained.
I am because I am a DJ and working in radio for so many years. It's kind of one of those things that it lives with you. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
So, well, I don't know if you could tell what I have on, but I'm wearing my favorite
yes,
character from the Disney shows. It's Gizmo Duck, right there
yes.
next to Darkwing Duck. Now, here's a little trivia for you. In order for Gizmo Duck to get his suit on, he has to say a password. Do you know what that password is?
I do not know what that password is.
I've asked this to maybe a handful of people. Not one person in my circles that I've asked has gotten this right. The password is Blatherin Blabberskites.
But I've heard it.
But you've only heard it in DuckTales. That's not a
Right.
commonly said thing.
No,
But
no, no,
yes.
no, no.
But yeah, definitely it's I only heard it there, and it's a phrase, it's a word that stuck with me my also because um Gizmo Duck is my character. So I'll randomly say Blabber and Blabberskites just because why not? Kind of like I'll be randomly somewhere, I'll just scream out it's morphin time because I've always just wanted to scream that out loud in public.
Do you
So
still walk around with your
morphin pocket.
morpher in your pocket?
Yeah.
That's
You never know.
yeah.
Something might pop off. But yeah. So again, I am Rolly. I am the host of Rolly's Retro Room. Co-host is out, and then this is our producer who is filling in as a co-host today. And we're gonna talk about a few things. So this week I did come across a bunch of stuff this week that I've come across. And funny enough, you've actually been there for all of these things. You were there next to me when I had these things. You had a version of your own. So the main thing, I'm gonna keep that for last, but I got like a lot. When I say a lot, it's like a lot, not a lot in quantity. So I got a lot of these McDonald's Power Ranger toys. Now, here's the funny thing. These are sealed, completely sealed. And you would think, yeah, I'm torn. I want to keep them, but no, these I'm gonna open them up. But for the show, I haven't opened them, so I'm gonna show you them here. So here's Red Ranger
Oh wow.
with his Zord in the thing sealed. Yellow Ranger,
Yellow Ranger.
Billy, the Blue Ranger,
My favorite.
which I just found out recently that my son's mom had a crush on him. She's like, "Oh, did you meet the fine Power Ranger at the convention?" I'm like, "Tommy passed away." She's like, "No, not Tommy, Billy." I was like, "Oh, you were into Billy?" She's like, "Yeah, he's the finest one of all of them." I was like, "I had no idea you liked him like that." The Black Ranger,
The Black Ranger.
the Frog, every boy's crush,
Oh, the
Kimberly,
Pink Ranger. Yes.
yeah, in the Falcon Zord, Tommy, the White
Oh,
Ranger.
the White Ranger.
Yep. All these things brand new, no discoloration. These things are I'm opening these up. They're not gonna stay in these. And I have to figure out what to do in that Power Ranger section. Then I got this. It wasn't made in the 90s, but it's 90s theme because it's from X-Men 97. And I think it's just the most badass Wolverine figure that came out. I couldn't find any of these when they came out, and they did a re-release, and I was like, I gotta get them. They were going for like $90 on eBay and Mercari. The creme de la creme of items from my childhood that my brother was there for. Here it is. And I know there's a bunch of retro rooms that have this already, but this thing, you have no idea what it means to me. It's my Ninja Turtles
Oh
dinner
yeah.
tray. I don't know how that's coming out there, but this every meal that I ate, every um, breakfast that I had watching the cartoon, this thing was there. This was everything to me. I don't know what happened to this, and I know we talked about this. You had one as well. I don't know. We don't know what cartoon it was. I
Yeah.
think it was Ghostbusters. It was an older one of mine, and it was like a hand all my hand me downs, and basically, I think it was Ghostbusters. I don't know what the other one was. It wasn't a Ninja Turtle one, but this one was my main one. This was my thing right here.
That one was yours
Yeah.
for sure.
So that was my pickups: the Power Ranger toys, the Ninja Turtle tray, and that Wolverine. And I got these the week before. I got like a pretty good deal from somebody that I buy stuff from. So and he gave me, I got 2 Batmans off of him. I'm actually giving this one to Tony, the yellow one. I'm gonna send it to him in a little care package for his little setup. But OG Black Keaton, he's going back there in the 90s section.
Mm-hmm.
But that was my pickups in the last 2 weeks. Those were the things I came across, and to this day, I got this thing like 4 days ago. I'm still in awe. Remember, I called you
Mm-hmm.
immediately when I got it. I called mom too. Remember, I called both of you. I was like, look at what I have, and mom doesn't remember any of the things that we talk about.
No,
Like,
no.
I don't remember that. Why do you remember so much? I was like, because it was my freaking childhood. But yeah, that's that. Those are the pickups. There's one more pickup, but I'll bring it up at a specific time. But yeah, that is my pickups for the last 2 weeks. So now we're gonna start doing some segments on here. Segments going forward, they'll have like we'll do them every week. It'll be like a serialized thing. So the first one we're gonna do is called memes of the week. So memes of the week are basically anybody that knows me throughout my entire life and they follow me on all my social medias, I'm constantly getting memes sent to me about 80s, 90s, Power Rangers, Superman, Ninja Turtles, anything 80s or 90s will just automatically think of me, send me stuff. They do it to Tony as well. So we decided, look, let's just share the memes that are being shared with us to people because people who are watching or listening to this, well, listening probably not so much. I'll describe it, but watching this on YouTube, like, here you go, you didn't see this or point of relation. So I get memes all the time from people, and a lot of times I'll get the same meme from like 9 different people because again they see it, it comes up, and it's just like, oh, Rolly, I got to send this right to Rolly, and I get it. I'm just like, yeah, I saw it earlier, but we're gonna do right now the memes of the week. So let's see what the first one is. Yes, I got this one recently, and it sparked a huge conversation. So, which one are you playing first? And it is 9 N64 games. So let me read these out: Mario 64, Zelda Ocarina of Time, Donkey Kong 64, Mario Kart 64, WWF No Mercy, Super Smash Brothers, Pokemon Stadium. Now that's Pokemon Stadium 2 down there. Paper Mario and Banjo Kazooie. All bangers. If I had to just take one out of the list that I don't really care for, is WWF No Mercy because I was more a fan of WWF WrestleMania 2000. I like that one better. This one I wasn't a big fan of, but WrestleMania 2000, I'll like mentally replace it with that one. Which one of these are you playing first? You have to. Let's say you can only play one. Which one are you playing?
Probably Super Mario. Super Mario was one of the fun games that you and I, well, there were one person player, but you and I would take turns playing that when you weren't hogging the 64.
Well, I mean,
Playing your favorite game, which is on that list.
Oh, which one do you think is my favorite?
Zelda Ocarina of Time.
So Zelda or Ocarina of Time is my favorite game of Zelda, but my choice is going to be Super Mario 64. I have to play one right now. 64 requires, Zelda Ocarina of Time. Love it. It's one of the best. It's probably the best to me Zelda game that came out. It requires too much thinking, and sometimes if you're just going to be playing a game, not that Mario doesn't require a lot of thinking, but Mario's more like a reflex game. So
Right.
I throw in Mario 64 is on my TV right now. So like Mario 64 is definitely my go. I thought you were gonna pick Mario Kart because you're the racing guy.
Yeah, but I every time we played Mario Kart, I would always lose because I mean, over the years, you've always been the better gamer. So I've always had, that kind of being in the shadow because, Big Brother was always the better player in the house.
Well,
So
yeah, and you had to literally break it down to your daughter that he's not gonna let you win.
yeah,
He's your uncle takes no prisoners,
yeah,
and she learned the first time. She's like, why am I losing? And
yeah.
you're just like, yeah, he doesn't play. And then my son Max was just like, yeah, no, my dad, he doesn't even let me win. Both hit the first one. Funny enough, just for people who don't know, me and my brother are complete opposites. We may have similarities as we look, but there's not one thing in this world that he and I are similar in. So this was a first to me that we picked the same game, and I knew he was gonna think I was gonna go Zelda. I'm surprised he didn't go Mario 64. I'm sorry, Mario Kart. But the game actually that I would probably go after would be Smash Brothers. But anyways, that's the first meme. So that one's dope. Let me know, what game would you play? Which one are you playing first? Mario 64, Zelda, Donkey Kong, Mario Kart 64, No Mercy, Smash Brothers, Pokemon Stadium, or any of the other ones? Who remembers In Living Color? Come on, dude. All right. So growing up, I loved comedy sketch shows. You had Saturday Night Live. But man, this show In Living Color was so edgy. It was, to me, it was funnier than Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live was like, how do you say, like the Christian proper comedy, if you will. And they had some risque things back in the 90s. Now they're a little more crazier. But back then, they had to follow like rules. But then you had In Living Color that was just all over the place. For
Yeah.
instance, Damon Wayans was on Saturday Night Live and he had to get out of there because he wanted to do things a certain way. They kept telling him, no, don't do it that way. No, don't do it that way. So his brother, Keenan Ivory Wayans, ended up making the show. And he had his whole family on there. But man, these guys, before Rotten Tomatoes, we had these two and their reviews, two snaps and a twist. And David Allen Greer and Damon Wayans,
Damon Wayans.
great. And I just love basically every movie. They'll talk about like 5 movies and they'll choose one that they would like, but then everything was hated it. It was just I hear it in my head. It's like, and whenever they approve them, when that one gets 2 snaps and a twist. But
One of the
man,
things that I
these
liked about In Living Color was Homie Don't Play That.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. And
Walking
again,
around
another
with like a
I think
clown.
I think Homie the Clown was the character that he tried to bring on to Saturday Night Live. That they're like, no, we don't want that.
Right.
So, and then he went on to In Living Color, and that's basically that was one of his staple characters.
Mm-hmm.
And then, well, if I'm wrong, he's like, isn't it was I'm home? No, that was something else. I thought it was I'm homie, leave me alone. But that's something else.
No.
That was something else. No,
Was
no,
it?
that wasn't him.
Okay.
No, what I'm thinking, I'm bony, leave me
Oh yeah,
alone.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Where was that from? Was that Wienerville? I don't know. From
I don't
Nickelodeon.
remember.
Anyways, moving on. So yeah, before we had Rotten Tomatoes, before any of the reviews, these guys on In Living Color were killing all the movies, basically saying hated it. And what's the last one? Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the most underrated instrument of the 90s. I believe it's still being used today in elementary schools. Instead of teaching us about financial literacy, they taught us how to play this bullshit. And it's a recorder from elementary school. Now, the last thing I got in my haul this week is a recorder. And it's not that, how all the new ones are all built. No, this is the one that breaks into 3 pieces.
Oh wait, that's not the one that we picked
No,
up.
no.
So
I couldn't live with myself having that black one that we got at that music store that guy gave me. So I was just like, you know what, bro? No, I need an original. This one came. I don't have it up here, but it came with the sleeve and everything. And here it is, bro, in all its glory. It's going in my 90s section. This thing. So funny enough, I learned how to play every Power Ranger song on here, And basically, when we'd fight outside or whatever, this was my dragon dagger before I got a dragon dagger.
Well, it's
But
funny when we went to go pick up that other one that you were looking at it. That you came down to Miami. You're like, I want to buy a recorder, and I'm like, what do you mean you want to buy a recorder? Like, do they still sell those? And you're like, yeah, there's a music store, and the music store ended up being right down the street from
literally
where.
right down the street.
Yeah. And then we walked in and he looked at it, he bought it. He's like, yeah, recorder, cool. And then he got in the car and he's like, but it's not the same. And I'm like, but it's a recorder. Like, and
It was black. It didn't come apart. It plays exactly the same. There's no actual difference in it other than the aesthetics. And I'm very old. I like everything authentic. This is not a Yamaha, so I did have to swallow that pill, but it's the closest looking to that meme.
right.
So for those listening, the meme literally says, I'll repeat it. Instead of teaching us about financial literacy, they taught us how to play this bullshit, and it is the beige Yamaha recorder from elementary school. And I mean, I was
With
playing it
Mr.
before we
Thomas,
were
you remember that?
Mr. Thomas and Silver Bluff. Yeah, oh yeah, of course I remember
Yes.
that. And the
Wow.
funny thing is with that, we would play the songs. We learned how to read music. We would play the songs, and then we'd go off on our own and just kind of figure out how to play all the other songs. Power Rangers, Jurassic Park, and all that stuff that was going on. We were like, oh, let's figure it out. I think somebody learned how to play like the Full House song or something. I forgot, but yeah, this thing was this is to me. I know it's still around, but this is like ingrained in my elementary school life.
Are they still teaching that in school?
I
Because,
think so. Yeah.
I mean, did your son
No.
learn to play
I
recorder?
asked
No.
him if he learned about this. He says they used it, but he in that music class they gave him another instrument. I think he said he was doing drums or something like that. They like let him play like a drum, like a snare.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Your daughter didn't have
No,
any recorders?
no.
I
I would
think
have.
Tony told me that his stepsons had learned about it. That's how he knew that they were still going on when I asked him about this a few like weeks ago. But yeah, I believe this is still a thing. This is still going on because that guy when we went to the music shop, he's like, yeah, they're right over here, and he was just like, oh, like he looked at me like you're buying this in off season because it was summer. So I was like, yeah, I'm sure these if they do sell or whatever, they sell during the
Yeah,
beginning of
during
school
school
year
year.
when kids are in whatever. So, but yeah, so those were the memes of the week. Those were pretty interesting. Those got sent to me by a few people. The N64 one, I got like that one sent to me like 7 times because everyone knows that N64 that's my system. Like if I were a tattoo person, I would get an N64 controller tattooed on me, but I'm not a tattoo person. So
Yeah, we both are tattoo people. Like,
no.
we both
Uh,
don't have not one tattoo.
I'm cool with them. I like seeing them. I've seen some crazy Ninja Turtle ones. But here's the thing is like I remember when my grandma passed, I was like, I'm gonna get a tattoo of her on my shoulder, and I was kind of like ripped at the time. And I'm just like, but the reason why I don't have a tattoo is because she hated him. So I
Yeah.
think and I'm going for him. It's like but yeah,
I
64.
I actually have a friend that he does tattoos. He went to school with me, went to middle school with me, Xavier. His tattoos you would love because he does everything that has to do with Dragon Balls, Nintendo, everything 90s.
Mhm.
They're the coolest thing ever. Like, I saw him do something not too long ago. I think it was either a Mario or a Dragon Ball Z or something like that, or a Goku, and I was just like, wow, people actually do that. And I was
Yeah.
like, it's so cool. And the
If
way that he does it, it's awesome.
I'm telling you, if I was a tattoo person, I would probably have a whole sleeve, and I've seen some of these already, where it's like a whole homage to Ninja Turtles on one arm, and then I'll do like a whole homage on this one for Power Rangers, OG Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Right.
But nah, I'm good. That's why I got the wall. So, but yeah, that was memes of the week. Those were awesome. We only did 3 because we had to kind of retool this episode since Tony isn't here, and I don't want to do too much without him. But typically there'll be 5, and we'll discuss them a little more. But yeah, those were memes of the week. So when we were in elementary school, we went to Silver Bluff in Miami,
Hmm.
and there was an event that would happen every year. Every
Every
grade got to go to this. Everybody experienced this. It's one of the greatest times in the world, and it's when $20. If you got $20, this thing was the greatest event ever. I'm talking about the Scholastic Book Fair. Going to this Scholastic Book Fair was everything. When you found out about this, you were given like a little paper in class saying the dates. Your teacher would tell you, okay, because you could go after school, before school, and I think your teachers will let you go if like you were in lunch. But then there were specific times that your teacher would take the whole class.
Right.
But you could go to it during that week
Mm-hmm.
to go get stuff. But you want the time to go was when your class went because you got to flex in front of everybody. Now, the Scholastic Book Fair, this is where you got to shine. Now, what were the books that we were getting? Goosebumps was high flying. Everyone was getting Goosebumps. You were getting Goosebumps by the load because that was popular. Goosebumps was fresh, new. The art cover on the front, like you were going nuts, and you wanted like the good ones. You want the one with Slappy on the cover, the Night of the Living Dummy, Welcome to Dead House, the one with the mask. I actually have them. You can't see them, but they're literally right there. Those two books are the dummy one and the one with the mask. Um, so yeah. Also, I don't know if you remember this, but they had do you remember Garfield joke books?
I do not.
So they had Garfield joke books that basically it's I mean, you got it for like they were cheesy. They're like dad jokes, but it had really cool Garfield art on them. I remember those specifically. There was also a book series, if I'm not mistaken, called Animorph. You have to remember these, where basically it shows a kid, and then it shows like four panels of the kid kind of evolving to like an animal.
Oh,
It'd be like
uh-huh.
a monkey, an eagle. So these books, those were the other ones that were super like crazy there. And then like the other things you could get at the book fair were like obviously there's other books. There's a bunch of other books I'm leaving out. Um
I
I'm trying to
remember all the
remember
knickknacks, like all the
the
bookmarks,
bookmarks, yeah,
the
bookmarks that you get
pencils.
posters, scratch and sniff pencils. You remember like
Mm-hmm.
so they had
Mm-hmm.
scented pencils.
The
So
erasers.
yeah. Um had like what was it? I'm trying to remember right now. Like there was like pencils that had like figures in them that were like snow globes. Do you
Oh,
remember
uh-huh.
those?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I remember because just recently I saw these and I remember I had them. The Ninja Turtle ones.
Right.
I forgot about these things completely. I forgot they existed. I It was literally erased from my memory. And all of a sudden I saw somebody post about them and bro, it unlocked. I remember that Ninja Turtle pencil with the little snow globe on the top and had a turtle in it. And they had all four and stuff like that. But that yeah, the Scholastic Book Fair, so much happening. Bernstein, what was it? Bernstein Bears?
Bernstein Bears, yes.
Yeah, those things were popping at that time. Where's Waldo? Like,
Oh yeah,
oh
those
my
books were
lord,
awesome.
Where's Waldo was insane. Like that was literally like where you would get. I mean, I think mom took us to like the library and we would see them there. But yeah, bro, that's it right there. Like now, people still have them. Some they're used. I haven't seen one of those live somewhere, but
I
they're
just found it that they're selling it, but you know how much
yeah,
that's going for?
$40.
$50.
Yeah, no, trust me. I look at all this stuff all the time, but the thing is, the liquid's gone. They're so old, the liquid's gone.
Right.
So it doesn't have the effect. Not that that matters, but you could get not sealed and they're in good condition for $10 or something like that. So yeah, Christmas ideas. There you go. But yeah, so the Scholastic Book Fair, book, and like the other thing is the Scholastic Book Fair, like you would never as a kid even think about, oh, let me get a bookmark. But for some reason at this book fair, you're getting like a dope. You're looking for a bookmark. Like, oh, let me find the like the dopest bookmark that they have here, and then you're looking for one that's like on theme of something that you like. Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles, some kind of Disney afternoon situation. They did have a lot of the Dr. Seuss books during our time. I don't know what they sell in those because I haven't been to a book fair in over 30 years. So,
Oh,
um,
don't share your age, please.
everyone, we very openly we're in our just turned 40. So I'm in the early stages of 40, just turned. So don't let the beard fool you. What are you looking at?
Okay, I'll take that.
It's still, hey, no, I still have a month and a half.
A month and a half.
Yeah.
You're
You're
almost
right there.
there.
You're right there too. Now, here's a
Nah.
funny thing. Here's a funny thing. So I won't say it on here. You guys tell me in comments or whatever, who do you think is older, him or me? Base it on looks, how we talk, how we look, and whatever you want to say. Who do you guys think is older? Let me know in comments, in DMs, whatever you think. Let me know, because yeah, this is a common thing that happens between us, and there's 2 years of difference between us.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, but yes, Scholastic Book Fairs, they're awesome. They were literally, and the thing is, I think it must have been something that had to do with the schools, that books were cheaper at the Scholastic Fair, at the Scholastic Book Fair, than they were if you went to like a Barnes and Noble or something like that. Because like one of the things I said was, with $20 you could get like a shit ton of stuff. Versus with $20 we went to that bookstore next to the movie theater in Paseos, and like you're getting 2 books,
Yeah.
if that. I think Goosebumps were like $10 or $9.99 or something, $8.99
Yeah.
back then.
Around there.
Yeah.
I really don't remember going to bookstores really, because I mean, and you guys covered this in another episode. I remember more going to Discovery Zone.
Yeah.
But you know, we'll move on from that. But yeah, I don't remember going to the bookstore in Paseos. I remember going to the record store across the street, to Car Jewel, to buy records.
Mm-hmm.
That I do remember.
Yeah, the bookstore that we used to go to was the one. Well, you would basically go whenever I asked mom to take me, because if you remember in Paseos there was an AMC, and right next to the AMC there was a bookstore next to it, and I would go there to get Pogs. I would get my Goosebumps from there. I think Carmen Sandiego had a book series. I think I
Oh,
had
I
one or
remember.
two.
I remember having a game of Carmen Sandiego
Oh
on the
yeah,
computer.
yeah. We had, bro. I think we had two, because remember we had beaten it already. Like we had hunted down every villain in all the things, and then it got to a point where we knew all the answers. Remember, you would go to like Africa, and then he's like, "Oh, I think the person that you're looking for, when they were here, they were talking to me in Spanish and asking if I knew something about the equator." And just like, okay, and then gives you your list. It's like, oh, were they going to Russia? Were they going to Australia? Or were they going to Mexico? And then you're like, oh, okay, well, Spanish and equator, Mexico.
Mm-hmm. Well, I
So
remember one of the cities where I learned where Cairo was in Egypt because of that game.
because of Carmen San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you basically, the good part about that game is that it taught you a lot of, the geographical,
Right.
the
Which
world.
in school it was boring. We didn't give a shit about it in school. But in Carmen San Diego, especially in that computer game, to this day, I say it. I've said this thing out loud. The little robot would pop on the screen, and he would say, "Where to, Gumshoe?"
Oh yeah.
He'd be like, "Where to, Gumshoe?"
Uh-huh.
And
As
then
soon as you open the game.
yeah, and then you choose from the map and you go to it. But yeah, that was, I think they had Carmen San Diego books, but we obviously we had the game, and if you remember, they had that show,
Yes.
the game show
Where
with
in
the song
world is Carmen San Diego?
with the
Yes.
Rockefellers. Yep,
Mm-hmm.
those were the guys that sang the song. I actually wanted to talk about that like in a later episode with a little more in depth stuff. But Carmen said that show, funny enough, it's a learning show. That was on PBS.
Mm-hmm.
But that
It, wa-
show, like a lot of
it was an
PBS shows,
afternoon show.
yeah, though a lot of PBS afternoon shows wouldn't capture my attention, but that one would. Obviously, you have Mr. Rogers and Sesame Street from back in the day, but everything else I was really interested. But Carmen San Diego, man, that shit was on. The first off, the song was dope. That song would hook you right in,
Yeah.
and you just felt, because we had the computer game. I'm like, yo, we could go on this fucking show. We could fucking find this bitch. So, but yeah. Anyway,
We never did find her. We found everybody else.
I found her. I got her.
Oh, I never found her.
I got her. I found all her little agents And
Uh-huh.
then
Uh-huh.
at the end, the last one that you find, the thing is, you have to unlock them. So as you go finding all the agents, at the end, it's like the big one, and it's the hardest one. And then you find Carmen Sandiego. That's why when I beat that one, and kept playing it, I was like, I know all the answers already. I told my mom, I go, I'm not gonna learn anything playing this game all over again. It doesn't have enough memory on that little floppy disk to give
Yeah.
me more game. So you have to buy the other one, and they had like 20 editions of that game. So mom just went out and bought me another Carmen San Diego game, and it had new questions, new like thugs that you had to chase around and stuff like that.
Her
But
henchmen. They were henchmen.
henchmen, right? Her henchmen.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Scholastic Book Fair, Carmen San Diego. We'll talk more about Carmen San Diego in our episode, but Carmen San Diego is awesome. But now I'm gonna bring something to. I brought this to your attention. When the millisecond it happened, I grabbed my phone and called Tony because my brain could not. My brain thought that this was a Mandela effect.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm there. I was fixing PlayStation 5 controllers because all the PlayStation 5 controllers I have stick drift. So I took apart. I basically sacrificed one to make the others work. So I'm there. My brother-in-law's next to me, and I have the movie on. It's literally background noise. And as I'm there working and I'm doing this and stuff, I'm not watching it. I'm just like I'm kind of listening to it, but I'm also like paying attention to what I do because I'm literally working with like little micro stuff. And the guy he saves Cocteau, that's the guys the who made the new civilization or whatever. Demolition Man, Sylvester Stallone saves him, and then he goes to invite him to dinner. So knows that's seen Demolition Man, that in Demolition Man there was something called the restaurant wars or the food wars or whatever, and the restaurant that won, that there's only one restaurant everywhere now, is what is it?
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. So imagine me, they're working, and all of a sudden, I'm just listening. It's like, oh, I invite you to Pizza Hut. Bro, my brain, like my body stuttered. I was like, what? Pizza Hut? I flipped. I go, no, I didn't just hear that. Here's the thing. So as you're watching it, they say Pizza Hut, but the words are still saying Taco Bell. Then Sylvester Stallone goes, so this guy just invited me to Pizza Hut. I'm like, he just said it too. Okay, no, this can't be. And I'm here like questioning my life. I'm just like, bro, no, there's no way it's Pizza Hut. So it goes. I'm letting the movie run a little bit more, and he's just like, so Spracey Sprocket wants to invite me to Pizza Hut. Then they pull up just like this right here, and as their car's pulling up, I see the Pizza Hut sign. I'm like, bro, what? So then I in my head I'm just like, maybe there's a licensing thing, maybe something's going on, and they couldn't use Pizza Hut anymore. So that's when I called you, and you flipped out. I called you with my glasses so you could watch it with me, and
Yeah.
you're just like, nah, man, something's wrong, something's not right. So I go and I look it up.
Yeah.
So the reason, so first off, so I could say, I was watching this on Amazon Prime. I own Demolition Man digitally. If I watch Demolition Man on any other of my streamers, it says Taco Bell. I tested it out literally right then and there. But for some reason, Amazon was playing the international version. So in the international version, they say Pizza Hut because literally in Europe and all these places across the pond, if you will, they didn't have Taco Bells. Taco Bells wasn't a thing. It wasn't popular. So they had to impose literally for the version that people saw over there, put Pizza Hut. So they dubbed Pizza Hut over Taco Bell. They went in and changed digitally the sign to Pizza Hut. But like if you're watching it, you could still see them mouthing Taco Bell, and then you see the little Taco Bell logos on the window
Yeah.
still.
On the windows still.
Yeah,
So if you look at the windows, they still have the Taco Bell logo. And
yeah,
we really did a deep dive into this whole Demolition Man thing because
dude.
I mean,
Because there's no way you're gonna tell me that this is a movie I watch all the time. This is one of my favorite movies of all time,
mhm.
and there's no way you're gonna like. I'm telling you, when I wasn't watching the screen. I wasn't, and all of a sudden, like I hear, and I invite you to Pizza Hut. I'm just like, I stopped. I couldn't. I was like, I was like, there's no way. If this is one of those Mandela effect things, I will die on the fucking hill that's Taco Bell. And that's why the first person I called was you, because the other person that would watch this movie with me all the time or would watch it on their own is you. And then when you reacted the way you did, I was literally in my head so paranoid. I go, if this motherfucker tells me that, bro, it's always been Pizza Hut, I don't know what to do with myself. I don't fucking know what I'm gonna do with myself. But no, we found out the reason. I'm not crazy. I have a good memory. The reason why we do this podcast and we talk about things we talk about is because of my memory. Without my
Well,
memory, forget about it. This doesn't
and
exist.
I had the reaction that you were looking for, which is
Mhm.
good
Yeah,
because you were like, he said Pizza Hut, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
right.
So it was like it was weird to hear them say Pizza Hut when I mean we've been watching that movie. I think I can almost say that we saw that movie with dad.
I saw. Yeah, we did. We saw that movie in the theater with Dad.
Yeah. So
That it was amazing because first of all, the movie itself is amazing, and
yeah.
secondly, that when he gets basically a video call when he
Mm-hmm.
has his apartment and the chick's
Uh-huh.
naked and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, wrong number." I was like, "Oh yes." I was what 1993, so I am 8 or 9 years. I'm 8 years old because it was before my birthday. So an 8 year old. Anytime I saw movie boobs, I was in. But yeah, great movie. Yeah, we did see that with our dad.
Three seashells, bro.
Still, you know what? I've looked it up. I still, even looking it up and read it, I still don't know how the hell they use those three seashells. I don't understand it. I'm so glad that the future didn't get to that. But a lot of stuff in that movie does come to life. Their
Yeah.
their cars are Teslas, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have the
Yeah.
styrofoam thing, I don't think, but
Mm-hmm.
um, a lot of stuff in Demolition Man came. They joked around in that movie about Arnold Schwarzenegger being president, but he actually ended up being the governor.
The governor, yeah, the governor of
Hmm.
California.
So, for those who didn't know, if you end up watching Demolition Man on Amazon and they say Pizza Hut, you're not crazy. You're okay. It's not a Mandela effect. You're just watching the European version of Demolition Man. Taco Bell wasn't important to them. But yeah, that's a little thing for you right there. Taco Bell and Pizza Hut. Depends on what version of Demolition Man you watch. You're gonna either hear Taco Bell or Pizza Hut. For the most part, you'll hear Taco Bell. But there might be a chance where you might have to question your life because Cocteau invites
Invites
Demolition
him
Man, John Spartan, to Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut. Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is, it plays both ways because the food that they get served doesn't look like tacos, doesn't look like pizza. It's like fancy shit that I would never eat. That's a little fun fact for you guys, Demolition Man. What is your retro
Well,
conversation gonna be about?
do you remember back then? I mean, I don't know because for you, you were more outside playing football and stuff like that. So you really didn't talk on the phone like I did. So
I only talked on the phone with girlfriends.
yeah.
If I didn't have a
So
girlfriend, then I was on the phone. There was no
yeah.
need reason. Like guys, there's no yo. What are you doing? I'm gonna swing through. All right, cool. Or are we going to the park? That's it. Like they'll go play basketball or football.
Right. So, you know, how the communication evolved in the 90s and when we were kids. And like you said, without exposing who's older or not, you are a year and a half older. Let's just say that, right?
No, it's a
I
little bit
just
more than
exposed.
that. It's like
It's
it's
18
it's
months.
it's right there to 2 years. So
Yeah,
we'll go 2 years.
it's 18 months.
I was 2 grades ahead of you.
Yes.
Okay, we'll go with
So,
that.
anyways, but it's so different how, our communication happened because while you were outside playing football, I was on the phone talking with my friends. And you had, the landline phones, you would call the party line and all those type of
Which I
things.
never did.
Yeah,
I
I
I
did.
I, I know what the party line is because you told me, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Fuck that! I'm not doing
Yeah.
this shit."
So party line, all that good stuff, falling asleep on the phone. I actually have an ex-girlfriend that I still talk to this day. That we used to fall asleep on the phone, and grandma would in the middle of the night come and grab the phone, and I would be snoring and the chick would be snoring, and yeah, all that fun time.
Yeah, I remember
And
falling asleep on the phone.
yeah, so and then the evolution of everything is beepers. So when you had your beeper, I mean, you had one very similar to this one. I think
Yeah.
yours was see-through, not hard,
Yeah, I had
like this one
a
is.
clear blue one with black buttons, and I had the green light.
Yeah. So that was just another evolution of, communication, because, you would be like, hey, beep me. And then, put the phone number behind and say, okay, yeah, you can call me at this number. But the coolest part about having a beeper was when you used beeper codes.
Oh yeah,
And
it
beeper
was
codes,
literally its own language.
yeah, it was literally its own language. And it was the coolest thing ever. Like I used to love like getting beeped while I was in class or whatever, and like girlfriend
First
would
of
tell
all,
me.
why are you getting beeped in class?
So funny story. Um, I had I I repeated the seventh grade, and my girlfriend at the time went on to ninth grade, so she got to school earlier than I did. So she would go to school earlier. Yes, we'll talk about that off camera. But
Hmm.
yeah, the girlfriend that I had, she went to high school, and I was still in eighth grade. So she would beat me in the morning before she went to school, and then when she got home, I would be in sixth period because school ended at 3:40,
Hmm.
and I would get beeped like, "Hey, I'm home, whatever, blah 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 blah," and it was all beeper codes, and I knew them all by memory. So 143, 123, eight two
One two
three,
two
yeah.
555.
Yes. I don't remember them now. The list is there. I can't
I
really see
think
it, but
I can't see it. I think 555 was like the sex one. Like I want sex or something like that. I know 122 was I want you. 123 was I miss you. 143 was I love you. Then you could
mhm.
spell les go to bed.
Uh-huh.
Remember that? Then yeah, and then everyone's like they had a specific number that would indicate themselves. Like mine's was A19. Like I would page you, and then at the end I'll put A19.
Yeah. Mine was 45.
Right, because your birthday.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, and that's I got it bigger here so I can see it now. Um, you had, 42, 43. Interesting enough, at work the other day, um obviously I work for a radio station, and there was a promo that they were running of throwback 90s. I work at a classic iconic radio station that's been around since the late 80s,
Mm-hmm.
and I hear them say something along the lines of whatever, oh, if you don't remember this, 43. And I'm like,
Isn't
wait a
43
minute.
fuck you?
Yes.
Okay.
So I was just like, so I caught that, and I walk over to the program director. I'm like, bro, who did that? And they're like, "Oh, I don't know why. What? I mean, how old are you?" He's like, "Oh, I'm 25 or 27 or something like that." He said. I'm like, "Bro, do you not know what 43 means in paper codes?" And he's like, "No, bro. What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Bro, do me a favor. Go do a Google search and see what 43 means, and have a great day." And when he came back, he goes, "I need to remove that right now." I'm like, "Bro, get out of here, bro. How did you not know that?" So,
Wow.
but yeah, younger generation.
Yeah.
So,
I remember because again, now that our age has been which one's older, I would whatever I would get, we had to wait until we hit a specific age and that was told to me. You have to be you're 13 to have a beeper. I'm like, all right, this is bullshit. I know people getting beepers earlier, but whatever. I'm almost there. I finally get my beeper and cool. I'm excited.
I get
Not
mine right after.
not even a fucking month passes. I think maybe a month, because she had to ride her fucking wave of you have to wait till you're 13,
Yeah.
and then what happens? A motherfucking 11-year-old gets a goddamn beeper. And I'm just
Yes.
like, what the fuck is this? How? So then that's why I always called bullshit on this. Well, everything's fair, blah blah blah. I had to wait 2 extra fucking years to get a beeper. That's why I always say that the youngest is always the favorite because they don't have to wait as long as we do, the older ones, to get shit. Oh, but I can't give you something and not give it to him. Yes, you fucking can. You literally made a timetable. 13. He's not 13. Whatever. So, and if I remember correctly, I got my blue one. And which one did
Hmm.
you have? Those are
So
the
those are the
OG.
OG classics.
I never owned one with a number to me, but we grew up. Our father owned a cell
Beeper
phone
company.
and beeper business, so these were all around us at all times with the little chain. It was a fashion statement to say the least.
I remember I used to change the cases on them. I knew how to. I mean, it wasn't that hard to do because it
No,
was literally two screws.
yeah.
But yeah,
Mind
we
you,
used to.
remember, we were in the office that
Mhm.
was filled with beepers, and we'd just be taking them apart. I remember using them. Our dad was really into Star Trek, so I remember using the beepers either as phaser guns or we
Mhm.
would play with them as ships, like if they were Star Trek ships.
Yeah. So these were the OGs. I remember Dad had a black one, Mom had a
Hmm.
black one, and then, bro, do you remember when our uncle had the car phone?
Yeah. Yep.
That car phone was like, bro, it was like a case, like this big, and it
Hmm.
had its own antenna, and that was the first. I mean, and they had that what 93, 94 before cell phones were really like big.
Yeah.
Like it was basically a car phone with a battery and
Yeah.
an antenna, and it's just the evolution of technology and communications in the 90s was so
It's just
crazy.
so preposterous to think about how things were. Like you try explaining this to somebody now, it's like, yeah, you would carry a beeper, somebody would
Hmm.
page you, then you would go to a payphone or find a phone and then call them. People today are just like, why didn't you guys just have cell phones? Well, cell phones were the technology wasn't there yet. So, and God forbid, where are payphones? Like there are no payphones anywhere. Again, no. So
In the
these
hood, you see them in the hood still.
what hood, bro?
I'll take a
I've
picture
I've
next time I see one.
I've been through several hoods down there in Miami where I currently live. There's plenty to go around, and I have yet to see a payphone. I think I might have seen one years ago in New York, and then I actually saw a post where they said that the last payphone in New York was removed. So I think I've seen it like in recent years, but we're talking like 2019 or 18 or something like that. But
So beepers, yeah, that was a fun time. And then the evolution of
mm,
the beeper was cell phones.
yep,
So funny story is obviously, like my brother said, he would always get the things first, and then I would trickle after. So I remember I had a beeper, and then my brother got a cell phone. My brother got the coolest cell phone that was out at the moment, which is one of the blue ones that is there on the second row, the second one.
right. The blue one
So
with the
the
gray, it has like little gray stripes on it and the gray
yeah,
buttons.
yeah, the one that had Snake on it.
Correct.
And I don't know what happened to that phone. I think it got wet or something like that. And he had to get a new phone. So I kept his old phone, but it didn't work. The battery was bad, which I came to figure out later. So whatever, I did the whole rice thing and put it in rice and all that. And when I finally got the thing turned on, I'm like, look, mom, the phone works. Go connect it for me. And she was just like, no, you can't have a phone. Que si you have to be 14 or 15 or no sé qué, no sé cuánto. I'm like, bro, mom, I need a phone. My brother has a phone. I want a phone. So my mom, since she didn't have to buy the phone, because back then you would have to buy the phone, do a contract for 2 years.
Yeah.
But if you brought the phone, you would only have to pay for the line, which was, I don't know, I think it was 30, $40
30
a month.
bucks or some shit like that.
Yeah. And then, you got the whatever plan you had, because back then it wasn't a limited minutes how it is now. It was, after 9 p.m., you had unlimited minutes, but during the day you had to pay for minutes.
Yeah, you had
So,
like 150 minutes or 200 minutes or some shit like
yeah,
that.
a month.
Hmm.
So that was interesting when I got my first cell phone because it was literally a hand me down from my brother. So,
Yeah.
and it
So
was cool.
so that phone, to tell you, I was in Coral Park when I had that phone, and every lunch break that I had, first of all, the battery on that phone would last you maybe 2 days
Hmm.
because I'd be in class. It was a class like a throwaway class where we didn't do shit, or I didn't dress up for PE. I was on that thing playing Snake like a motherfucker, like just getting to a point where there's nowhere to go with that Snake. Like there's no beating that game. Like I never like beat it, but I'm like, yo, there's nowhere else for me to go. But anyways, I digress. every lunch break that I had, random people would just be like, "Hey, can I use your phone? Can I use your phone?" To play Snake. They wanted to play Snake, and to like the thing will record like high scores.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember it would be a handful of people that would have cell phones in high school. This we're talking about like 2000, 99, 2000, around that time. That's when I had that phone. 2000, 2001, I think. So
I
yeah,
I want to say closer 2001 because
yeah,
I remember you having that phone, and I had just started high school in Coral Park.
yeah. Okay, so yeah, 2001. So everyone would ask me to play with the phone so they could play Snake, and then bro, you'd have people would be like, "Hey, can I use your phone to call someone real quick?" And I'm just like, "Bro, like you need to make it like a minute, no more than 2 minutes, because I have stupid little minutes to talk on the phone." Yeah, no, it'll be real cool. I remember one kid, I gave him my phone. I'm like, "All right, here you go." I don't ask. I'm like, "That's not my business. Just make it 2 minutes." He goes, grabs the phone, dials the number, and he's like, "Where the fuck are you?" I'm like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "Bitch, if I find out that you're with the," I was like, "Yo, hold on, bro. Are you fucking like checking on your girl, bro? What are you doing, dude? No, man, give me my phone. You're fucking wasting my minutes." So he's like, "No, it's fucking bitch." I was like, "Yeah, give me my phone, bro. Just, bro, go to the fucking. We're in school. Go to the office and fucking call her. Don't use my cell phone for that shit."
I
But
thought, but didn't Coral Park had a payphone in the front of
they
the
had
school?
payphones, yes, but I guess motherfuckers didn't have quarters.
Oh, well,
So they would
he's a
be
bus
like,
stop. It's
and the
fine.
thing is, not for anything. In Coral Park, I wasn't popular. It wasn't how I was when I was in Gables and in Ponce. I knew everybody. In Coral
Right.
Park, no one knew me until maybe like the first year that, I kind of like started just hanging out with everybody. But everyone knew I had a phone. Like I was known, like you knew everyone that had a phone in high school. Like, oh, yep, because it was such a rarity thing. I think shortly after they started doing the two-way thing. But anyways, back to the phone real quick story. So yes, if you had a premium plan, your nights would start at 8 o'clock. But for everyone else, your nights will start at 9 o'clock. So what happened? I had an experience. So just for everyone to back then, you had limited minutes and you had your free nights and a weekend. On weekends you could talk all you want. And then after 8 or 9 o'clock, depending on the package you have. Also, text messaging had just started. What does that mean? You only got either 25 or 50 free text messages.
Yep.
After that, they charged you per text message. I do not remember the rate. Maybe it was like $1 a text message or two
No, I
dollars a
think it was
text,
like 50 cents a text, and you only had 160 characters.
something
So
like that.
whatever you had to say, it had to be in 160 characters.
Right. So I had eight. I had it was 18 AT&T at the time, but it had no. It was Bell South
Well,
that just
something
converted to
singular.
singular. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens? I just got out of high school. My girlfriend of high school and I had broken up, and I was single. So I was single, ready to mingle. The second I became single, my instant messenger was blowing up. But anyways, so all of a sudden, like I'm there talking to this girl, and it's 8:54, 8:55. So what does my brain tell me? All right, cool. In 5 minutes, I'll be free. It's fucking 9 o'clock. Free minutes. Let's go. Like you said, you would get on the phone and you fall asleep with the girl. Back then, I don't know if it's still a thing, if they still do this. I mean, granted, they're nowadays text messaging. Girls just wanted to be on the phone. You didn't have to be talking. They just
Yeah.
wanted to be on the phone.
Yeah.
So I would be there either playing Madden or playing a game or on my computer. And we didn't have headsets. Maybe we had like the one earbud, but we're
Mm-hmm.
there, literally there holding this thing and doing whatever we're doing.
That's
And
before
this,
gaming had headphones.
yeah, yeah. So I'm literally on the phone with this girl, and then we're talking, and then there'll be points of like of silence and back and forth. Cool. Had a whole ass fucking like long ass conversation. It's like 3 or 4 in the morning. There was talk breaks in between, blah blah. Cool. It was a continuous call. What happens? My mom calls me when I'm at work. I had just started working for my uncle's company, and she's like, "You get paid on Friday, right?" I was like, "Oh, here we go, bro." Yeah, I get paid on Friday. She's like, "Good. You're paying the cell phone bill." I was like, "Bro, I fucking knew it, bro. Like the second I got a job, like there was no point in me fucking wanting to buy things or do anything. I'm 18 years old. Like I'm a fucking douchebag kid, but I'm there. I'm just like, I'm like, why the hell? Like, I only get paid like $200. Like, she's like, oh, wait until you get home. I'm just like, dude, what the fuck? So I'm pissed because literally she's saying that I think the cell phone bill typically was like $120 or something like that for all three of us. Right? It
Mm-hmm.
was you, me, and mom. And it was like
Mm-hmm.
$120 after taxes and fees. So she gets the
That's
bill.
nice. We should go back to those days.
Well, we can do anything with our phones. But anyways, I get home and she shows me the bill. It's like $480.
Oh,
So I'm there immediately. I'm just like, that's not my fault. That's not me. That's Mike. Like that's you. And she's like, no, it tells me by phone number what this is and this, and your thing has a charge of like $280. And I'm just like, I didn't do anything. Like I don't. It's like minutes. I go bullshit. They're lying. That's the first time the cell phone company shit. Long story, short, full of shit. Because we go to the Singular store in Brickell, and we walk in and we're asking them, we're telling them, look, like we got this crazy charge. It's attached to his number, my number. And I to this day I remember that phone number. It was 305-505-2828.
yeah.
Greatest number ever.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, we see here that there's about like a 5.5 hour conversation. I'm like, yeah, but it started at like 8:54. They're like, yeah. So you don't start your free nights until 9 o'clock. You have to hang up before 9 o'clock to then start the free nights.
At 9:01, because you could have started at 9 o'clock on the dot. You had to start at 9:01.
Okay. Well, so yeah, the nights don't start until if you're on the phone, you have to hang up and then call it back. And then the free nights start. If you start that thing at 8:59, you are writing that sucker out with your minutes and paying for every goddamn minute that you have. So apparently, because in their advertising, it wasn't like instructed that that's how it works. Apparently, that had been happening a lot with Singular. So they gave you like a curfew for a one time if that did happen, which of course that was the first time. So I believe they knocked out like $240 of it. So it kind of brought it close to it, but mom still made me pay it. And I'm like, awesome. Thank you. You're fucking great. Now I don't have any money for the next week. I mean, I was paid weekly, but whatever. So
Thank
anyways,
you for paying my cell phone.
yeah. So, but then right after that, I was like, yo, screw this. I'm not letting that happen again. And I went to a company, which everyone knows now, but back then I think it was exclusively in Florida, in Miami,
In Dade County.
in Dade County. I went with,
Well, it was Dade, Broward, Palm Beach.
right. So I went to Metro PCS. Metro PCS was only from the Keys to West Palm Beach.
West Palm
That's
Beach.
the only place you had covered.
Mm-hmm.
You went past West Palm Beach service, but I wasn't going anywhere. I was going to be in Miami the whole time. I get this Metro PCS phone, like 99 cents with no contract, and I think it was $30 a month. And it was this little clear blue lighting up phone. Awesome. What I love about it, unlimited talk, unlimited text messages. And the thing is, I would get in trouble before because of text messages, because all these girls that I would talk to somehow, some way, Metro PCS was a huge thing back in the day. And all these people that's when text messaging started to take off. And I only had 50 free text messages. So I'm here literally texting people back, and I'm here like, oh yeah, well, it's 50 cents after the 50. So it can't be that bad. Bro, that shit got bad. 50 cents. And then like I was talking to like 2 or 3 girls at the same time, and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, holy shit. You don't equate that. Oh, 50 cents, blah, blah, blah. Making 200 a week. I'm good.
Well, what they don't tell you is you get 50 free messages.
Well, no, I knew that.
But
I knew we got the
hold on.
50 free.
50 free, but they didn't tell you if they were incoming or outgoing. No. It didn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
So it was
Both ways.
50 both ways. So
Mhm.
1 and 1. So if you
Yeah.
would text somebody and they would text you back, that's 2 messages.
Yeah.
So the 50 messages will fly real quick.
Yeah. So kids these days definitely have it So much easier. Granted, now all these phones do way more. They do the internet thing, they do all this other crazy shit. But that nights, free nights after 8, after 9 o'clock was stupid, crazy. I'm sure hella fucking kids in our area ran up their parents' bills, not knowing that rule.
And
I can't be the only idiot that got bit by that bug. Again, the guy told me we're giving courtesy one time credits because a lot of people are having this issue, not knowing that it has to be after said moment.
right. And that's that we didn't touch on how text messages originally started, which was with the two-way. The
Mm-hmm.
two-way was 160 characters. I remember there was a song about it by 36 Mafia. Um, that's how text messaging started.
Mm-hmm.
You had a two-way, and you would send the message. It was the first query keyboard that was out for messaging that you would send message, and that's all it did. It didn't do anything else. So just a little quick touch on that. But yeah, that's where text messaging started, and then
Two-way
when you
pagers.
yeah,
I
and
remember
then
I remember people having them in school, and my
mhm.
girlfriend at the time was just like, "Oh, we should get two ways." I was like, "For what? We could text each other, and we're always together anyways." And I'm not gonna ask my mom to give me another one. So, but yeah, that was that. Cell phones and beepers were definitely an interesting situation compared to what people have now. To explain, I tried explaining owning a beeper and the cell phone experience to my son, and he's just like, "That just seems like a lot of work." I'm just like, "That
try try
was
telling them to text on the phones that they have to
yeah."
press
You
for
have
the
to press
E.
the
You
button.
have to press
I used to
three.
be able to text without looking. I used to do it in my pocket.
Oh,
I could
oh,
send a whole ass fucking conversation, or at least my part of the conversation. I could not look at it and not have to check, and I would go back and I would surprise myself like, "Damn, I hit everything." The giveaway was the middle button had that risen little
right.
bump.
Yeah.
That you know where that is, then you know where everything else is. And I was just
Mhm.
I'll be in my. I remember being in Mr. Pericles' class, science, Coral Park, and I'd be texting my girlfriend. It's in my pocket. Ting 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 ting. Boom. And then she'll be like, "Oh, your teacher lets you text in class." I was like, "No, bro, this shit in my pocket." And like, "What do you mean?" And I literally had her next to me, and I showed her. I'm like, "I'm literally texting you right now. I love you." And I send it to her, and she's just like, "Oh wow." I'm like, "Yeah." And I go, "Trust me, the thing that gives it away is just that little bump on the."
On the 5.
Yep. So that was very interesting time for us. Movie spotlight. So obviously, the 80s and 90s, 2000s, they're not short of amazing or great movies and kids movies for that much. Um this movie I feel, while not considered to be a great movie, it's still a hidden gem. Not hidden, but not a lot of people reference this movie. You'll see things here and there, and when you see it, you're just like, okay, oh yeah, I remember that movie. The idea of this movie is dope because once we saw what the you're like, bro, and you wish you could do this immediately because the movie I'm talking about is Indian in the Cupboard. So you see that scene right there, down there? He literally gets all these toys, puts them in this cupboard. So in this scene right here, you see a T-Rex from Jurassic Park, a Darth Vader from Star Wars. You got RoboCop, and then you have some Star Wars. I'm sorry, Star Trek characters down there as well. And I believe maybe an army person. Um, there's a lot of I'm sure there's a lot of copyright and stuff that had to get approved for this scene. We're mixing right here, but
Mhm.
he literally put the action in that cupboard, the key, and they came to life, bro. You're that. What a great idea! What a crazy idea for a movie for kids, like for us. So the actual point of the movie or like what takes place in the movie is it's called the Indian in the Cupboard. He gets a little Indian figure, puts it in there, and then he makes like a bond and a relationship with this little Indian. And he kind of learns from the Indian, like the Indian like lost his family, or he was with his like nephew hunting or something like that. And then whenever he brings somebody to life, he pulls them out of their world. It's not just that little figure is coming to life, but he's pulling someone out of their life to be there to play or whatever. So he pulled T-Rex out of Jurassic Park. He pulled Darth Vader out of Star Wars, RoboCop, Star Trek, so on and so on. Um, but yeah, the idea of this movie and just be able to do that is just so crazy. I'm like, I wish I had that. I'm throwing my Ninja Turtles in there. I'm throwing my Power Rangers, my GI Joe, Darkwing Ducks, like everything. I'm throwing it in there, and I just wish I had it. So the cool thing about the VHS is, so if you see here, it says free Indian cupboard and key, right? Well, I bought this secondhand. Like I think I got it for like 50 cents at a garage sale or whatever. So what I'll show you is if you look here, it has a little keyhole,
Mm-hmm.
and the cupboard is actually here. So you open this up,
Mm-hmm.
slide this out, and on the other side,
Oh,
it's
it
the cupboard.
becomes the cupboard.
And then
Oh, that's cool.
you put it here on the cover, and then this thing closes like this.
And it came with a little key, right?
It came with a key in Indian, but obviously, like I said, I bought this used, so that
Right.
thing probably got trashed. But super awesome, and just the ingenuity to do something like this for like a kids movie. And I'm sure kids weren't buying it for the fact that you could
That
turn this into a cover.
90s, that 90s marketing, man. I mean, it's just you don't see that nowadays. Like the way that they market things nowadays is just so
Kid-
crazy.
I want to say kids don't even care about toys. Like all these toy companies now that are making toys and stuff like that,
Mhm.
the toys for kids are like kids aren't really playing with toys how we used to play with toys. The people buying toys are adults.
Yeah. Yeah.
People buying toys and actually that Wolverine cost $25 if you get it in store. That figure in 1993 will cost you $10,
Mm-hmm.
$9. I remember seeing ads from Kmart and Toys R Us when toys would go on sale. Full ass Ninja Turtles would go for $3.57 on sale
Well,
and stuff like that.
at like something that I sent you this week.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of places are doing that now. Do they sell clothes in that place?
They do. They do sell
Okay.
clothes.
The one shirt that I am after, that you could check there, is the Bugs Bunny and Taz shirt with the crisscross, but an original, not a reprinted, not a new one. An old school 90s Taz and Bugs crisscross shirt. Funny enough, I follow another podcast, and I've been after this. I've been wanting this shirt forever. Every time I go to thrift stores, I look for it. I look in the gray shirt section, and funny enough, miraculously enough, as I'm watching or listening to this podcast, somebody in North Carolina sent them, and I live in South Carolina, sent them that exact shirt, and I was like, bro, come on! Like every time I think of something, it pops up or happens over there, and bro, I want that shirt so bad. Nothing is more 90s. That shirt is spewing 90s. Like the minute you
Yeah.
see it, you're transported. I remember it's because it's in theme of Looney Tunes, and it's also in celebration of the Criss Cross song, because Criss Cross used to dress like that. I believe, if I remember correctly, it was like a grayish or like a white with gray hints on it. But yeah, that shirt, if you ever go into that vintage shop and you see it, if it's in there, here's the thing, if you do find it in a place like that, they're probably gonna charge like $75 for it. Like you have to like search this thing out in like garage sales or actual like Goodwills or like actual thrift shops, because any of these new thrift shops that are resale stores, they're
Oh, taxing for
yeah,
sure.
like crazy.
Tremendo
Crazy.
tax.
Yeah.
Because, we live in
Well,
Miami.
No, that's everywhere. I went to one in North Carolina. It said, I think it was like what was it? Jackson's thrift shop or something like that in North Carolina. So I was like, oh, bro, let me go check this thing out. Thrift shop, cool. I hit thrift shops all the time. I go in there it is, bro. That thing screams 90s.
Took me a little to find it, but
Yeah. And that's the one. That's the one right there.
are
Funny
those
enough,
are those Jordan 11s that they're wearing?
no,
They look like them.
it could be similar, but I think out before the 11s even came out, because The 11s came out 95, 96. And I think this was popping like in 93, 92, 93 when Crisscross came out.
Okay.
But yeah, no, that I went to that thrift shop and it wasn't a thrift shop. It was a resale store. They had a bunch of toys. They had everything out you would want, but at those resale prices. I'm here trying to find toys or video games, and no, they had them, but like a flip head Power Ranger, they had it for like $25 loose. I'm like, dude, this thing is easily maybe $9, but whatever. I digress. But yeah, man, we're gonna call it on that.
All right.
How do you feel about your being on a episode in front of the camera the whole time?
I think it was good. I think I think we had a good time. We spoke about some things and we went down memory lane, and I think it was, it's always good when you and I sit down and have these conversations, because we don't get to do that often, especially you being so far now. But it's always good to go down memory lane and talk about, like, the thing that you posted about the yearbook. I mean, that was classic.
I had crazy amount of people messaging me. Can you find a picture of this person? It's not even them. They would ask me to find pictures of other people. Like, yeah,
Well,
sure.
I have an interesting story. So, do you remember Mom bought 2 yearbooks, right? One for you, one for me.
Mm-hmm.
So my yearbook, I took it. So we got it end of school year. Obviously, I was in 6th grade. You were in 8th. I had to go to summer school that year, and there was this girl that wanted to see my yearbook, and she had a stupid CD that I was like, "Oh, I want to hear that." And it was a
Warren
salsa
G?
CD. No, it was a salsa CD. It was a Mark Anthony CD.
Oh,
Bruh. I told her, yeah, I'll lend you my yearbook. Let me the CD. Bruh. I never saw the yearbook.
how is that even like a fair trade?
Bro, I was in 6th grade. Like, yeah. So when you were doing the whole yearbook thing today and we were talking about it, I'm like, man, I would really like my yearbook, because there's one thing that I remember in that yearbook. Like, all my friends signed it.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember my friend Julio, not the Julio that we know, the other Julio. So there you go. So my friend Julio, I remember he was dating a girl that and she wrote in there, and she put to Mike, blah 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 blah, KIT, blah 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 blah. And then instead of him putting, to Mike, he put 3 Mike. And I was just like, it was stupid, but it was fun. And I've always wanted to see that yearbook again. But I mean, obviously, I lost contact with that girl, and she stole my
Yeah.
yearbook.
Yeah,
But
that thing is probably incinerated now.
yeah, but yeah, I was thinking about that today. So sure.
For the most part, it's a solid episode. We got the memes of the week. We have the movie spotlight that we did, new segments that we're gonna be doing. We did talk about that Demolition Man little factoid that I don't want people out there to like think that they're in an alternate dimension when they hear Pizza Hut instead of Taco Bell.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So
We talked about beepers. We talked about cell phones. We talked about the evolution of text messaging. What we didn't touch on? AOL, but we can bring that up.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right, man. We're gonna call on that, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Rolly's Retro Room podcast. Again, I am Rolly. That is our producer and filling in for Tony, co-host Mike. And basically, this podcast is just to take you down memory lane, kind of like he just said right now. Take you back to the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, and anything that has to do with nostalgia, like technology, beepers, cell phones, video, TV shows, music. If it was popping back then, we're talking about it. So thank you everyone for watching, listening. Please make sure you like, subscribe, share. If you have any ideas of what we should talk about or recommendations, shoot me in the comments, or you can actually DM me, Rolly's Retro Room at Instagram. And man, we'll keep these going for you. But that does it for me, man.
Have a good night.
Dale.